Did you know that it's actually a myth that Queen Elizabeth I poisoned herself with heavy white lead makeup? Yes, you've probably heard that the Queen's iconic look, chalky white face and deep red lips, was deadly. But historian Stephen Verapan argues otherwise. He points out that while Venetian ceruse, a lead-based makeup, did exist in Elizabeth I's time, there's no evidence that she actually used it. Accounts from her old age don't mention layers of white paint at all, and the only writer who does, Ben Jonson, mentions her wearing makeup, but he describes red cheeks and even a red painted nose, not exactly the ghostly white mask we picture. So where does this idea of Elizabeth I smothered in toxic face paint come from? Well, blame the Victorians. They loved to paint her as a tragic, ghostly figure. Think Miss Havisham in a ruff. And ever since, films and TV shows have run with it. But that's not to say that Tudor women didn't use cosmetics. Oh, they absolutely did. And some of them were truly terrifying. A pale complexion was the beauty standard of the time. It showed that you were rich enough to stay indoors, unlike those poor souls who had to work in the sun. Medieval and Tudor women had all sorts of ways of lightening their skin. Some used homemade treatments like wheat flour soaked for 2 weeks, crystallised into a powder and mixed with rose water to make a foundation. And others did use ceruse, that dangerous cosmetic that I've already mentioned, a mix of white lead and vinegar borrowed from the Romans. Other whitening lotions could contain soap lye, mercury, silver, tin ash, and even a mixture of ground pig jawbone mixed with poppy oil. But these heavy makeups were more like a plaster mask than a modern foundation. They dried, cracked, and some ladies were said to move stiffly so that their makeup wouldn't break apart. Imagine wearing that all day. And it wasn't just for the face. Tudor women painted their necks and even their bosoms, sometimes adding fake blue veins for an aristocratic, almost translucent look. But now let's talk about the real problem: health risks. These lead-based products were incredibly toxic. While we don't have evidence that Elizabeth I suffered from lead poisoning, later centuries, like the 18th century, saw high cases of it due to similar makeup. The side effects? Swollen eyes, inflamed skin, blackened teeth, and even neurological damage. Oh, and forget anti-aging properties. This stuff dried out the skin so badly that it caused wrinkles. Of course, Tudor women didn't just want to look like ghosts. They wanted a bit of colour too. And for rouge, they used all sorts of things: ground angelica leaves, dried safflower flowers, and chips of Brazil wood soaked in rose water to create a pink stain. But for a truly dramatic flush, they used cinnabar, a bright red mineral made from mercury sulfide. Yes, mercury. Other options included madder root, cochineal from crushed insects, and ochre clay. And lipstick? A popular recipe included cochineal, gum arabic, egg whites, and fig milk, while lips could be lined with red-tinted plaster of Paris. Want a quick natural tint? Just rub lemon juice on your lips. Now let's talk about the eyes. Black coal or powdered antimony, another toxic substance, was used to line the eyes and darken the lashes. Want bigger, more dazzling eyes? Belladonna drops were the go-to, except they were literally poison. Eyebrows were plucked into fine arches and hairlines were raised to create that big domed forehead look. Think Elizabeth Woodville. Fair hair was the goal, so women used a mix of saffron, cumin, celandine and oil to lighten it. Or, if you were really daring, urine. Yes, you heard me right. Urine was a common hair lightening treatment, and if that sounds unpleasant, a milder option was rhubarb steeped in white wine. So next time you hear that Elizabeth I poisoned herself with lead makeup, you'll know better. While Tudor cosmetics could be toxic, there's no proof that she wore thick white lead paint. And besides, their beauty routines were far stranger than that myth lets on. But here's something to think about. 500 years from now, will people look back at our beauty trends with the same mix of fascination and horror? What will they say about Botox, chemical peels, or spray tans? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tudor history fun. See you next time. Oh, and by the way, don't try any of these at home. Some of these are really nasty and really toxic, so stick to your modern beauty routine. See you soon. Bye bye.